So Josh, it's been quite a while.
Yep,
Last one we did was probably 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
month ago probably. Yeah.
So what have we been up to?
Just shooting our bows. We had state tournament to get ready for.
Yeah.
Not only us, but all of our students and the team that we took with us. So we're busy getting everybody ready. A lot of them was the first time shooting at a big event like that.
Yeah.
Then we had sectionals right after that. A couple other shoots that a few people from the team went to, and our students. And you were able to go and support those guys as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been busy.
Yeah, we've been really busy with shooting and stuff at the shop. But yeah, we got to, when was it? February, was it February 17th? 15th, 16th, 17th, right?
Somewhere in there, it was right in the middle of the month.
Yeah, so when Wisconsin is held in Wisconsin Rapids, where
Yep.
you're from.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's held there. It's a 3-day event. You shoot either Friday or Saturday, and then you shoot Sunday. How'd you shoot?
I bombed it on the first day. It was pretty rough. We did the pro-am that evening, and I recovered there, so I felt good going into day 2. And then I hurt my elbow horsing around at the hotel with the kids. I'm getting too old to play with the kids, I guess.
That's why you don't have kids.
And so I was a little bit nervous the next day, but I ended up shooting a lot better. So I was still upset with myself because I shot a 4 on the last end.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
But yeah, it was good to bounce back from a real rough first day.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the thing with state. Every year I always look forward to it. When I'm there, I can't wait till it's over.
yeah,
Like, even when you're shooting, like, God, this can just be over.
especially when you're shooting bad. Yeah, day 1, like I wanted to just leave.
Yeah.
I did not want to stay. Like I was shooting so bad, I didn't want to finish that whole round out. So that's tough when you're shooting bad. Just stick with it, get through the day, and come back the next day. So
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, when I'm at the home range, I average low 50s in X's. I rarely miss the 5 ring.
right.
You know, so I'm averaging 300. Same thing with league too. I'm averaging 300. I mean, now my average down to 299. But I shoot real well, you know, when I'm comfortable. But when I'm on the line, and on Saturday I was on the line, I didn't care about X's at that point. I've never shot a 300 in tournament
Sure.
until state. So my first day at state, I finally got that monkey off my back. I shot a 300. I want to say 43x or 45x, somewhere around there. So lower than my average. But at that point, I didn't even care. At that point, I was like, I just want a 300
Right.
just to get it going. And then same thing like you. Second day, I shot a 299. So at my 10th end in, second to last arrow, I thought it was in. The 2 guys that I was shooting with called it out. Or one called it in, one called it out. So they called the line judge. And line judge barely took a look at it and said it was out. So it was out. So,
Right.
I mean, it is what it is at that point. Everybody says if you want the point, you know, just shoot clean. And
Right.
don't leave it in the judge's hands.
Yep.
Which, it was my fault. I'm having trouble, you know, controlling pressure on my bow. So,
Which you didn't before you
Yeah.
got the sweet spot.
yeah, so I just got the Sweet Spot Pro, that new machine that Donnie Thacker invented.
Yep.
Really cool machine. However, when you see how bad you shoot and it's quantified,
Right.
it magnifies the problem, because that's what I do now. I shoot strong first 3 ends, start losing pressure, and then it just goes downhill from there.
Sure.
By my 9th, 10th, 11th end, I'm just crazy tired.
And it becomes, like you said before, it's overstimulating
Yeah.
at that point. And in the long run, there's no doubt it'll make you a better shot. But it's, probably get worse before it gets better kind of deal.
Yeah, so I don't know how, like, guys like Levi Morgan are just freaks, because Levi Morgan shot his first time in Vegas, and he had 3 bad shots, and he saw the 3 bad shots on his sweet spot, on the graph that it spits out.
Right.
And I don't know how those guys do it, because How I set up is I draw, level the bubble, then focus on my dot. Now you're adding a third element. You're holding bubble level, then dot, then waiting for that green light. Green light tells you that there's perfect pressure.
Right.
That the riser deflection is the same every single time. And it's hard. It's just, I think it's overstimulation. And when you're running a 29 millimeter scope, you're losing maybe, even if it's 5-6% of that, scope housing.
Right.
That's still a lot.
Yeah. Dim reduces the amount of light coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're running a magnifier, like, the amount of light coming through is a huge difference. And like I noticed that at State, I was all the way at the far end of the gymnasium away from the windows, and the light was a lot worse down there. And typically and on the home range, where we have real good lighting, I can see the X no issues, with the magnifier. When we were shooting at State, I couldn't. I just couldn't make it out. There just wasn't enough light coming in. No, and that kind of plays with you too. I was wondering, do I have my sight bar set too close or something, So I was constantly rechecking that. I'm like, no, it's right. But it's just lighting.
Yeah.
It just messes with you.
Yeah. The team as a whole, though, did really well.
Yes.
We took home 8 medals and 2 plaques.
Yep.
And so we had 2 girls, 2 of our students, one of them shooting bare bow and one of them shooting traditional. Bare bow could be either compound or recurve, and traditional being, old school. How NFA rules it, I forget how the NFA rules it, but you really can't have anything on your bow.
Right.
Whereas bare bow, you can't have a sight.
Right.
And you shoot fingers.
Yep.
I believe, don't quote me on that, but I believe that's how it is. But they shot really, really well. They didn't shoot their PRs, just goes to show how well they can shoot. And they took home the plaque for NFA. And Ethan, Joel's student, was 2 points away from getting the state record.
Yeah.
He shot 299 both days. And what's crazy was, me and you shoot better on the home range. That kid shoots amazing under pressure.
Yes. His game goes skyrockets.
Yeah, he just zones in, shot 299 both days. Which
was his personal best, right?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Personal best. State record is 599. So a 300 on one day, a 299 on another day.
Yep.
So he was literally a point from tying, 2 points from taking the state record. Because no kid in his class has ever shot 300 before.
Right.
But yeah,
he took second overall. There was a kid there, he's from Bucks and Bowls, and he was shooting lights out.
Yeah.
Carter shot really good. He had an issue with his rest on the very last arrow of the first day, so I kind of felt bad for him.
Yeah.
But he bounced back and shot great the next day.
Yeah, he shot with a purpose the next day.
Yes. He had a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he did. And, his parents saw it too. He was shooting really, really well. Both days. First day, it wasn't his fault.
No.
They tried calling equipment failure, but unfortunately the little girl that shared the bail with him called equipment failure 4 times. And because they were shooting on the same bail, they associated that with him, even though it wasn't him at all. It was the person he was shooting with. So that was kind of unfair for him, and he shot a PR at state, which is incredibly hard.
Right.
So he took first in his flight. Ethan took second overall.
Yep.
I took first in my flight, which doesn't mean anything. I mean, so how they do flights is, there's 50, 60 people, right? In our class.
And unlimited.
Yeah, adult, amateur, male, freestyle.
Yep.
And so every 10 people, they break it down to first, second, third, and then 11, 12, 13 is also first, second, third. So I think I got 21st. I wasn't in the championship flight or the first flight, I was in the second flight. So I took first in my flight. You took second in your flight.
Which was 32nd overall.
Yeah. Dennis shot really well. He got third in his flight. And Drake, this is his very first competition.
Yep.
Got second in his flight. And who are we missing? Is that all 6 of us? Or all 8 of us?
Adults wise, we had Delabar, and Tom.
I'm talking about medals, sorry.
Oh, for the medals, yeah.
That's all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Outside that, we had Dalibor on the team, Ernie on the team, Tom shot too.
Hunter and Mariska, how did they trying to keep all this straight? But I know they shot really well.
Yeah, they shot really, really well.
One of them PR'd, didn't they?
I believe Mariska PR'd.
I think Mariska did.
Yeah, Mariska PR'd. But Hunter was running. This is all relatively, I want to say new, but he's running a brand new bow.
Yeah.
Pulling a lot more weight than he ever has.
Yep, it's an adult bow.
Yeah, so it's a Bowtech Realm Max. And yeah, he was shooting really, really well, shooting 25s. And he's super into archery now. So his dad has him signed up for, I believe, 3 or 4 tournaments just this month.
Yeah, he shot 2 tournaments since state and did the first tournament he showed up at. We didn't realize he could only shoot 23 diameter arrows, so he showed up with the wrong size arrows and had to like quick sight in with some regular hunting arrows on the line. But given that, that situation, he still shot really well. And then the next tournament he went to, he placed second overall.
He placed first and got the second highest score overall.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, so he placed first in his class and shot second highest score overall out of all the kids in his age group. Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, he's been shooting great.
So yeah, that's what we were focused on mostly this year, was more about the students and us, because how much do we have to practice really?
Yeah, I didn't have. I can guarantee everyone's shooting there that the 2 of us, Tom, probably practiced the less or least amount going into state. So yeah, our focus has been on the students and the team as a whole, and just getting everybody ready for shooting in competitions like this.
Yeah.
State is a big stage, But we shot sectionals right afterwards. That was nothing compared to state, because it's broken up.
Yeah.
The entire Great Lakes region is broken up into multiple locations, and so it really, we have like 20 of us on the line at a time, maybe.
Yeah.
For sectionals. State was a lot bigger event, a lot bigger stage. Really gets at the nerves,
So then, yeah, at sectionals, I didn't do hot at all. I actually couldn't wait till that weekend was all over.
Yeah.
First day, I was hoping. So coming from state, I had a 599 overall for both days. I was hoping to beat that with a 600. First day, very last arrow, I shot a 4.
Yeah.
And that was just disheartening, because I was shooting decent, not clean. There was a lot of them that hit between 5 and 4 ring. And luckily, what's nice was they pair you off not by last name, but by the time that you register. So me, you, Rhea, and Dalibor all went to sectionals, and we were all supposed to be paired together on a single bail. However, they put the kids' bail in between us, so then it was broken off to you and Rhea sharing a bail.
Yep.
And then me and Dalibor on bails right next to each other. So shooting with Dalibor was actually really, really cool, because he followed all the kind of respect rules, I should say, with archery.
The etiquette.
Yeah, the etiquette.
Line etiquette.
So you don't draw when another person's at full draw. You really don't move when another person's at full draw.
Right.
You don't leave the line when another person's shooting, and you're aware of everything for them. If there's a clock, you'll count down from 10 from them.
Stay in your spot, your 2 feet of line space, you and your equipment. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people keep themselves in there, but not so much the equipment.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't shoot well the first day. I came back second day thinking, you know what, it's not 600 just isn't going to happen. My X count was lower than at state. So just have fun. I noticed I was losing power because I turned off my sweet spot completely. I was just not ready to shoot in a tournament setting with that. Yeah. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I paid $45 for this tournament. Shoot the best you can. Very last end again. I pulled a Mike slow snare. Second to last, or fourth to last arrow, I shoot a 4. And then I said, screw it, just get the rest 5s. And then I shoot another 4. And I'm like, oh, God, it sucks so bad. So I ended up with a 299, 298 at sectional.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about my score. Day one was a tragedy for me. Again, same thing as state. I started off really rough. Came back and shot pretty good on day 2. But after state, I was, even when we shot league in between there, like I was going through some issues. I don't know if it was just nerves that kind of rattled me or shaked me, you know, like, cause I'd never had nerves before on the line. Like last year we went to state and stuff, never had an issue. This year when I went to state the first day, that was really the first time that I let nerves get to me for whatever reason. And that whole week in between there, it was kind of bugging me. And when we went to sectionals, the way they do it, you have a high line and a low line on the bales, and then halfway through they swap your targets. Yeah. So everyone shoots half a round at the top and half at the bottom. And it was right after we made the switch. I was shooting at the top all morning, made the switch to the bottom, and mentally I had a collapse, and I dropped my arm on a shot, and I completely missed the spot, which is the first time that's ever happened to me, even in practice. Yeah. Never missed a spot before. Yeah. And
it's a 5 spot too, you know. It would easily been a 3-pointer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure. I barely missed the 4 ring, but I missed it. And it was pretty heartbreaking. So day one, like after that, it took me a couple of ends just to like clear my head of it. I was like, I cannot believe this just happened, you know. And so day one, I didn't want to come back after that, but come back, shot good, finished off with I don't remember, it was a 299 or 298 on day 2. Yeah. But again, I started off kind of struggling, and then I was actually shooting really good after the first couple of ends. I was shooting really good. I had a real good X count. And hopefully that seems to be cleared up, because league I shot another really high X count. Been doing good since then, so we'll see.
I don't know why. I shot after sectionals, I shot league again. I ended up with 298. Shot 2 4s towards the end, and I don't know what it is, whether I'm just not, you know, I think it's because I'm only shooting 60 arrows at a time. To get, you know, 60 good arrows, you should be shooting 100 arrows at a time. Yeah. You know, so that you're not losing power towards the end. And that's what I'm doing. I'm losing power towards the end. And seeing that sweet spot quantify it too. And I've noticed that, you know, my shots get lower and lower and lower, and I'm adding clicks to my sight to go up a little bit higher every single time. Sure. So I could clearly see that I'm losing power towards the end, and my shoulders are sore the next day, which they shouldn't be, trying to hold really good form, trying to follow through. So all that mentally just drains, and physically just drains me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the time, you know. I mean, we both work 2 jobs. We're pretty darn busy, you know. The time I get up to the time I go to bed, it's go, go, go. Yeah. And I rarely have time to practice. So honestly, like, my one night of league a week is like my forced one night of practice. Yeah. And that's not enough, you know. And so I'm not expecting to be a 60x shooter. I don't have that bar set for me or anything like that. But if I can be in the upper 290s and pop a few 300s here and there, then honestly I haven't practiced more to be any better than that. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Man, when you go to state though, you see these kids that rival setups rivals that setup. Oh, yeah. Setups that rival ours. Yeah. They're crazy. I seen kids with Prevails, and these things retail for $1,600-$1,700. Yeah. And they're shooting long bars and crazy sights, and it's like, man, their parents like really invested in you guys, and they shoot just as good as we do. Sure. And you got to think, they're 9, 10, 11 years old. How long have they been shooting? Right. We saw that at sectionals too. I shot right next to this girl. First day, shot 299. really upset with herself. Second day came back with a vengeance, shot 300. And I looked at the scores. I think she placed third overall in sectionals. You're talking the whole Great Lakes here. And
Right.
She placed third.
Yeah, we had, I don't know where she ended up placing, but there was that one lady at sectional. She's shooting a 5-spot with a recurve.
Oh, she's good.
She's really good.
She is really freaking good.
Holy cow, is she good. She said that she ended up doing really good at Vegas too. So, yeah, and I was really impressed by that. I'm like, a freaking recurve, come on.
Yeah, we saw some crazy stuff at sectionals.
Yeah.
This one lady that I was shooting, I shared a bail with her. Yeah, she shot.
Forgot an arrow.
Well, she shot 4 arrows, and then she was just sitting down, waiting for the next line to be called, and then 20 seconds later, you see her jump up out of her seat, quickly knock an arrow, and this is a testament to really the archery community.
Right.
You have Jeff Button, a local pro here, stand up on the line, count down from 10 for her,
Yep.
and it was like 3, 2, 1. She shoots the arrow, then the buzzer hits. So it counted.
Yep.
And then everybody just stands up and claps for her.
Yeah.
She shot a 4, so she would have lost potentially 5 points. She would have lost.
Right.
And it would have been amazing to see her shoot that X.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I'm
Yeah.
like, please hit an X, please hit it. It would be the most epic thing ever. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like you said, she's just sitting down, and I just happened to be looking over that way and noticed, like, all of a sudden she's like looking at her quiver, and she just gets like in a panic mode right away. Like she's like looking around, and I'm like, what's going on with her? She jumps up, she runs up to the line, she grabs her bow, and she's like knocking her arrow. I'm like, holy cow, she only fired 4 arrows. She didn't realize it.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I looked into her target on my binos.
Yep, I did the same thing. So I looked down there, and I'm like, I only see 4 shadows on that target.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's knocking that arrow. Jeff Button's counting down. We're at inside 10 seconds, and she, I don't think she even started drawing her bow till 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and then for her to get the peep accusation and lined up on the target and shoot was.
For her to get a 4 was crazy good.
It was.
It was crazy good because she had a couple misses throughout the 2 days.
Sure.
I think she was averaging right around mid 270s.
Okay.
If not low 280s. On the other end of the spectrum, though, we saw a girl unfortunately shoot the wrong target.
Yep.
Yeah, which it's hard at sectionals because they do an A line and a B line.
And when they flip on the targets,
it takes twice as long.
Mm-hmm.
And so A line steps up, you get 4 minutes to shoot, and then immediately B line steps up on the same bales, just high and low. And the B line shoots, then you guys all score and collect arrows together. So this girl, after the 6th end, so there's 12 ends total. After the 6th end, she changed her target, ran out to use the restroom, came back, and then as soon as she came back, she was late for the line.
Yep.
So she jumped in line, shot 3 arrows in the wrong target. So shot them high, because that's where she was shooting all morning.
Yep.
She shot 2 practice ends and then 6 ends, so 8 ends essentially in that target.
Right.
Shot 3 really good arrows until she realized she shot the wrong target, and then finished up on the bottom. And because we were all looking around, we saw this guy that shared the bail with her walk down range and pull 3 arrows out.
Yep.
And we all felt really bad because she was crying.
Yeah.
But
how easy is it to do? I mean, the first day, and it was the arrow that I missed too. After we swapped out, I pulled back and I was lining up on the top target.
Yeah.
And right before I touched it off, I was like, oh wait, that's not my target.
Yeah.
I dropped my arm down, and I don't know if I did a drive-by or what I did, but my arm kept going down when I shot. And so, yeah, it's very easy to do. I almost did it myself. So, yeah, I felt bad for her.
Yeah, it's hard because, like, even it must be, like, an anomaly to have to do that kind of things because everybody after the 6th end, beginning of 7th end, is like, everybody's shouting down the line, all right, remember, guys, bottom target this time.
Right.
Bottom target. And the Dalibor, luckily, was standing next to me saying the same thing. All right, don't forget, bottom target now. And the second day he said, all right, don't forget, now it's top target.
Yep. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. It throws a little extra loop in there, you know. And then you have the younger kids,
Mhm.
they have to shoot that top bail, and those top, if they're shooting a 5 spot, those top spots are above their head.
Yeah.
So that's pretty difficult for those kids.
That's what they did at West Dallas Bowman. So West Dallas Bowman. Yeah.
That was the next shoot that we didn't shoot in it.
You
a lot of our
you were out of town.
Yep.
I was too scared. I'm not shooting great right now. Last thing I want to do is to pay $20 to have my ass handed to me.
Sure.
And I mean, it was the opposite last year. Last year, I came in super confident, took 5th in our flight. Rio ended up winning the whole thing.
Yep.
Crazy night. And then this year, so I was too afraid to, because I was at the top end. So they flight you based off of your state scores, essentially. You can use your sectional scores. So you take 360, it's out of 360. You take your X's, add it onto your score, and that's how they flight you. I was at the very top end of A flight, and they wanted to push me into double A flight, and I knew I didn't stand a chance. You're talking pros here, Ben from Westtown Archery, he shot really well at state, and I even asked him, "Are you going to West Dallas Bowman for the Winter Classic?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm shooting double A class." He talked to nonchalantly, and he's like, "Well, I'm not shooting that." And you're talking guys like Dwayne Price. Yeah, Dwayne Price, one of the guys on the short named the list that shot a 900 at Vegas.
Yeah.
And he typically wins it most years. And he shot there, double A class, and I was like, man, I just don't stand a chance. And I know it's like a defeatist attitude to have, but I just was not feeling in the right mindset. My bow is still tuned to the 9. Nothing's changed on my bow. It's just all mental at that point.
Yep. Everyone goes through it as an archer too.
Yeah. But yeah, at Winter Classic, so that's adults. It's a little different. Adults, they shoot NFA 5-spot. For kids, they give them the Vegas 1-spot or 3-spot.
Sure.
And they do what Lancaster does is they take the X and turn that into an 11. And they have an A line and a B line. But what's different for them is all A lines shoot top the whole day. 15 ends of 3 arrows, so 45 arrows. Plus 2 practice ends, so you're shooting 51 arrows. And B lines shooting bottom about, eye level height for them. Still pretty high.
Right.
And fortunately, our 2 boys, Carter and Ethan, were fortunate enough to shoot the bottom line, the B line. And there was kids, maybe 3-4 years old, shooting our eye level heights that we wouldn't even shoot normally at the range.
Right.
And I heard a lot of parents complaining that they really need to switch that, but it's kind of hard being 15 ends. When would you switch? Between the 7th and 8th?
Right.
Between the 6th and 7th? So, fortunately, our boys were able to shoot the bottom targets. But yeah, that girl, again, that shot sectionals with us, cleaned house. She ended up getting 2nd. And the boys, what they didn't realize at the time was, even though they were shooting bow hunter class, so short stabilizers, fixed pin sights, weren't allowed to touch your sights at state, they were in that class, they didn't realize that this is a local tournament, not a big scale tournament, small club tournament. So there's not a lot of people shooting just straight bow hunter, just straight freestyle, so they group them together.
Everyone's lumped in.
Everybody's lumped in. It's all strictly by age.
Yep.
Gender doesn't matter, what's on your bow doesn't matter. It's all grouped in 12 to 14, 8 to 11, and, I think 7 and under, is how they grouped it. So our 2 boys were going against, and they didn't realize that, going against kids that had magnifiers. Because I remember Carter saying, man, I could see that X looked huge. And I was standing behind her, that X looks humongous. I said, yeah, that's how it is for magnifiers, So that kind of pushed both of them to kind of want to try freestyle. I told them, state's one thing, but when you go to these little shoots and they group you together like that, you're already going into it, heavily disadvantaged, because you guys have short bars, you guys have full hunting setups, as opposed to them, they have full-blown target setups. So
we're getting both those guys converted over, though. They're both pretty excited to go to a freestyle setup.
Yeah.
And we're working on building those bows right now, so it'll be cool seeing them progress like that.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of bows, so we did a podcast, our very first podcast. It was never, released, where we talked about our setups.
Yeah.
And so officially, we never talked about our setups. Released
That's
it. So,
true.
so what'd you run for indoor?
State this year, I ran a Hoyt Double XL, 33-inch draw, 33 and a half, somewhere in there. Easton X27s, 32 inches, so they're right at my rest, which is Hamsky, and I had a 4 fletch, 300 grains up front, which is quite a bit. Kind of played around between 150 300s. I had my best groupings at the 300s, so I stuck with that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sherlock sight with a 4x magnifier. I run a ring. I know you run a spot. Haven't really tried a spot, I guess. Ring was the first one I tried. I liked it, so that's what I stuck with.
You shot freestyle, right? Full long bars.
And I shot freestyle, long bars, bee stingers, spot hog release. And that was about it. Kept it pretty simple overall. No blade rest or nothing like that. The Hamsky is a limb driven drop away. I ran the contour blade, so it's technically a target blade.
Yeah. Yeah. This year is the first year I ran a limb driven. Past 2 years. First year I ran a cable driven AAE DOA. Second year I ran a Hoyt Pro blade. AAE Pro blade. Couldn't really drive with it, and then you talked me into the Hamsky. So this year for state, I ran a Hoyt Pro Force at 56 pounds for indoor. Easton X27 12s at 31.5 inches, running 250 grain CAP points with 3 fletch 4-inch feathers from Gateway. They sent me those to try out. Tried them at state, loved them.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful feathers.
That's what Rhea's running too. She loves those as well.
Yeah.
She's been shooting lights out with them too. She's shooting really good.
Shot that. Went with also a Sherlock sight for indoor. A shrewd 29mm scope with a 6x magnifier. Black dot to cover up the whole X. Cover up most of the 5 ring actually. As soon as it eclipses the 5 ring, I take the shot. Or I put pressure on my bow, take the shot. Shot a Carter Wise Choice, the knock-on version, so it's a knock to it, 2-figure release with a brass thumb barrel. It's a little heavier, so it's easier to pull. Easton Contours, 30 up front, 12 in back, with I want to say 5 ounces up front and 12 in back. Still kind of playing with that whole configuration.
Yeah, I've been playing with weights on mine. I couldn't even tell you what they are actually, because I've changed them quite a bit here. I think I have 5 up front and 10 in the back right now. My bar is, what's 30?
33.
33 inch?
Yeah, I believe 33.
Front bar?
Yeah.
15 back. It's a pretty long bar, but fits my draw length. So.
Yeah, where it's those Easton X27s, I shot those 3 years in a row. Those were a gift. So state was my very, very first tournament 3 years ago.
Yep.
And as a gift, my sister got me X27s, an arrow I've always wanted. I saw the pros shoot them. I saw everybody shoot them. At the time, I was still in school, really couldn't afford them. I mean, I had money, but I wasn't willing to go out and spend 160, 180 bucks on arrows.
Right.
Because you're talking, at this level, shafts, and then points were 40 bucks. Getting them custom fletched cost a ton of money. You're getting custom knocks, all that stuff. So I wasn't willing to spend that much, so I was really appreciative of that, but I shot them 3 years in a row. This year, right before state, I was thinking of swapping out for some brand new X27s, because at the shop we kind of get some benefits working there. But if they fly, true, as straight as can be, so still not willing to give those arrows up.
Well, we got that new Ram arrow spine and straightness tester. And right before state, we got that.
Yeah.
I remember we put the X27s on there, yours, that you've been shooting for 3 years. And we're like, man, if these things aren't straight, it's going to be bugging you all weekend long at state.
Yeah.
We spun that thing, that needle didn't even think about moving.
Yeah, the only time it moved was when it ran over the graphics on the arrow.
Yeah, exactly.
The small amount of painted graphics on the arrow. That was the only time it moved the arrow.
So yeah, on the bear shaft itself, those things were as straight as could be. So I was really impressed by that. Those X27s are something else.
Yeah.
It's a good arrow. I've been shooting mine for 2 years now as well. So
yeah, they're really good arrows. I mean, after this, really, you have maybe 2 more tournaments, then indoor season's over.
Yeah.
3D season.
Yeah, I'm ready to start making the switch over to 23s just to get that setup going.
Mm-hmm.
For any of the indoor stuff I might do for the rest of the year, you have to use the 23s.
Yeah, I bought a whole new bow for 3D.
Yep.
I saw how you got the double XL, loved it. Talked to the Hoyt engineer saying that the double XL and the Pro Force, there really is no difference besides the grip and the stabilizer placement holes.
Yep.
The angle of stabilizer placement holes and the shoot through riser.
Right.
And I said, does that shoot through riser really negate that much? And he says, the only reason I shoot a shoot through riser is because my arrow falls off my blade.
Right.
And I don't want it falling off the whole bow. So I was like, oh, that makes sense. So then I figured save the $400 or $500 because my Pro Force was $1,700, and your double XL was what, $1,200, $1,250, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, so figured I'd save that much money and go with the double XL this time around. I'm driving real well with the bow. So I got the gold bow. Drake, our friend, copied me after that. Also,
Sure did.
Oh yeah, Drake, if you're listening, yeah. And now that it's out on the internet, it's true.
It's true.
Yeah, copied me with the gold double XL. But yeah, I decided to run that, and so last year for field, I talked to this. I think it's his name's Jeremy. We shot in Beloit, and I said, "Hey Jeremy, I've always wanted this set of arrows called X10 Pro Tours. Everybody knows X10 Pro Tours. $500 a dozen for bear shafts. Tungsten points, I believe, are like $260.
Right.
Just for the points. So you're talking well over $20 per point. And I said, I saw you shoot these last year. Should I shoot them this year? He's like, I shot the spine out of them, believe it or not, because they're X10s are barrel shaped, and X10 Pro Tours are parallel back half. The front half they wind down to the point. He said he shot the spine out of them, and he couldn't justify anymore spending that much money for them.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, what do you recommend? And he's like, go with the platinum pierces. So under the pierce line, they're the mid-grade levels. They're not the pierce tours, but they're not the kinetic pierces either. They're the mid-grade level. He said, shoot those. I absolutely fell in love with those arrows. Really, really nice arrows. I grouped those within 3 inches at 100 yards, relatively easy. Really, really nice arrows. Paired them with some Q2Is, pin knocks, basically the whole setup that Gold Tip recommends.
Yep.
So love those. Now, going into this 3D season, I knew I wanted to shoot a 23 diameter arrow this year because last year I was shooting those little field arrows.
Right.
And I want to take 3D a little more seriously this year. So Gold Tip contacted me and got me a set of 9.3 Maxes, which are their FIDA and World Archery arrows. 23.3 diameter, I think it is, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
23/64s.
Yeah, 23/64s. They hooked me up with a set of shafts, points, pin knocks, 2.7-inch Q2Is. So we're actually gonna do a special on those.
Yep.
We're doing like a video series on those to show how we build arrows, because we have a lot of people asking us how we build arrows.
Right. So yeah, we're gonna do both a target arrow using those shafts, and then a hunting arrow with actually these shafts that we got sitting right here. Just some Black Eagle Outlaws. These will be for my wife this season. So that should be a good video series.
Yeah. I mean, you picked these for a reason because these are 005s.
Right.
And you want to prove the point that you could take an 005 arrow and build them to where they're close to 001 straightness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Using that Ram arrow straightness tester, I'll be able to cut the straightest section of the shaft and use that. And yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what we get, but we should be able to get really close to 001 straightness out of these shafts, all said and done. Whenever you have like an 005 or anything, the center of the shaft is generally the straightest part, and the variances come from the ends. So we'll show you with that in the video series, how we're going to measure that and cut them.
Yeah, I mean, up to this point, we've been cutting all of our arrows from the front end.
Right.
So now
because without a tester, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't
know.
know.
That's just kind of a industry standard, just cut from the other end.
You could do the wobble test, but it's not, super accurate. Running out a spinner and see what side spins most, but it's not the most accurate way to look. And now you could quantify that on the arrow spine tester.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be a good. It's gonna be a good video series, I think.
And then that's I believe probably 2 weeks from now or something like that, we're gonna choose a winner. So we have on Facebook right now a little giveaway contest where all you have to do is that post that we sent on 2 Peas in a Podcast Facebook page.
Yep.
You like and share that picture, and then we will pick a winner, and from that winner, we'll build them a half dozen of gold tip hunters.
Yep.
From start to finish. Custom fletch them, whatever colors they want, whatever veins they want. Not color, doesn't really matter. Insert them and run them through our spine tester, just like all of our arrows.
Same thing we're doing with that we're gonna do in the video series. We're gonna do the whole rundown with those as well. So yeah, it'll be a good set of arrows for somebody.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. But yeah, speaking of 23 arrows and indoor setups, you watch Vegas?
Yes. Not all of it, but I watched the shoot downs.
Yeah, it was good.
Yes.
Man, that's crazy. If you guys didn't watch it, sorry, but Sergio Pongi is crazy. He's a beast.
Yeah. Yeah, he was on that day for sure.
Yeah.
And the length that he holds, I mean, I was shocked by that. My shot process broke down so long ago, but he holds for so long that those other two, when they shot, and he only had hit that. If he hit the center, it was all over. And I'm sure he didn't look over and see or whatever, but that pressure at that point, is got to be mounting big.
You're talking $53,000 on the line, not including contingencies. I mean, Chris Perkins last year shot and won for Matthews. Matthews gave him $50,000, and he won $52,000. You're talking in one tournament, they won $102,000. That's what more than what most people make in a year.
Yep.
That's crazy just off of one tournament.
Right.
And what I find crazy about that tournament is, it doesn't matter your X count. As long as you shoot a 900, you're in the shoot-off.
Right.
Which is, I think, kind of unfair because Mike Schlossner shot the highest X count. He only missed the X 4 times, so he got an 86X. Out of 990X, he shot a 986X.
That's crazy.
So to me, that's like automatic winner. But that just gets you in the shoot-off.
Right.
And I don't believe he even placed, podiumed at all.
I don't think so. He was one of the big guns. There was quite a few big guns that got knocked out right away in the shootout.
Yeah.
And he was one of them.
Yeah.
Within the first couple of rounds, I think. So, but that's Vegas,
Man, that shoot-off though, like
I'd love to be able to go someday.
Who's who of archery was there in that shoot-off? You're talking Stefan Hansen, Martin. I don't believe Martin Damsel was Stefan Hansen, Levi Morgan, Chris Perkins, Paul Tedford, Mike Schlossner, Steve Anderson, Sergio Pongi, PJ Deloche, Sebastian Pinot.
Yep.
Like who's Jesse Broadwater.
Yep.
Yeah, like the who's who of archery was shot that shoot off.
Right.
And you have a guy, Sergio Pagni, super old school in his style. He still runs like a biter stabilizers that don't even make anymore.
Right.
He doesn't really run a back bar.
What's that release he runs too?
Spot Hog Cascade.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
So it's a reverse release.
Right.
It's as you relieve tension on your backhand, the arrow goes off instead of putting pressure on your backhand.
Yeah.
So it's reversed, and he's the only person shooting it. So Spot Hog, it's out of production. It's out of production to the point where Spot Hog sent all of their, extra blanks and extra parts to Sergio Pagni. And now if you go on eBay, the secondhand market for those releases are skyrocketing.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty crazy seeing these guys shoot, and I'd love to make it to Vegas one someday.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year.
Just to be in the same building with all those guys at the same time, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd love to shoot. I'd be shooting amateur for sure, but it'd just be awesome to be able to shoot there on that stage.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's wrapping up the end of indoor, and time to go to 3D.
Yeah, so we're getting ready for 3D season. We got the kids are all getting geared up and ready to get outside as well. So that's going to be nice shooting at something besides the spot.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't really take to a liking to 3D before last year until we went to all those shoots. We went to all the local shoots that I didn't even know existed, and really fell in love with 3D.
Yeah.
And for us, we take it, we have more fun with 3D. We don't take it as seriously as spots.
Right.
But
are you going to be changing your Pro Force to field archery setup?
Yeah. So I typically keep a bow for a little over a year. I have my Prevail for a little over a year. I go through pros pretty quickly, but that Pro Fish, just something about that Pro Force.
Yeah.
Makes me want to shoot better, and I shoot really, really well with it. Couldn't shoot well with my Prevail. And I mean, when you look on the Hoyt Pro line, all these pros, none of them shoot a Pro Force. They all shoot Prevails. So
right.
I always thought I was doing something wrong with it. And then until I got my Pro Force. So yeah, I'm gonna set that up for my field bows, so for like field and hunter rounds, 900s, all those style shoots running a micro diameter.
Sure. The kinetic pierce?
Or platinum pierce.
Platinum pierce?
Yeah. So running those for outdoor, and then running my gold double XL for 3D.
Sure. Yeah, I'll probably do my 3D setup with my double XL as well, and then once turkey season clears, I'll probably switch my hunting bow over to X Impacts for field rounds.
Yeah, we don't do a whole lot of field around here.
We don't really.
Yeah.
Hopefully we have a couple more shoots this year that we can do.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that 900 round. I'd like to find some more of those to do.
Yeah. We're doing one at our shop.
Right. We're going to do one this summer. Yep. Now we have an outdoor range.
Joel and Tom, who are in charge of our archery department at Root River, last year, did everything they could, got us a outdoor range. Did everything. Went in front of the city council.
Yep.
Asked for it, bulldozed the whole thing, flattened the whole thing, seeded the whole thing. I built some bales for them, and they're hoping to host. I don't remember. Do you remember what shoots they're hosting this summer?
They're gonna do a grand opening shoot.
Okay.
And then they want to do at least one like an ASA style shoot. And then a 900 round. I thought there might have been another 3D shoot that they were hoping to do too, but yeah, I think they're looking to do maybe 3 or 4 shoots.
Yeah. So right now they're working on getting us some either Delta McKenzie or Reinhardt targets.
Yep.
And right now what they're kind of hung up on is whether going IBO scoring or ASA scoring. IBO is a little more universal, but ASA is very unique.
Right.
Because it has that 14 ring, and you have to call your shots.
Yep.
Like shooting pool, you have to call all your shots. So I thought that was really cool instead of just aiming for center every single time.
Right.
So it's unique. That'll be a nice unique shoot that our
and be
does.
Different, pretty much all the 3D shoots around here are IBO, and I'm not 100% sure what the reason is for that, but if we were able to do an ASA style, I think that would be probably one of the only ASA style shoots in as 3D8, theirs is pretty similar to ASA style scoring too, I think.
Yeah.
But that's just for that scholastic division. So under 18, which we have some of our students will be doing that. So.
Yeah. What I brought up to them, and I've never seen it before, and they all kind of embraced it, which I loved, was a kids 900.
Yeah.
Instead of doing 60, 50, 40 yards, you do 40, 30, 20 yards.
Yep.
Just for kids.
Yep, and I'm hoping we'll be able to do that the same weekend we do the 900.
Yeah.
So maybe adults the one day, and then the kids the next day. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, most shoots do that, where the parents shoot the first day and then they bring kids. Because an adult going into a kids 900 not knowing, but if they shoot the Saturday, bringing their kids back on Sunday, know all the rules, are able to score for their kids, guide the kids, shoot the same size targets, 122 centimeter.
Yep.
Full world archery target. So.
Yep. And it helps the kids prepare for shooting longer distances.
Yeah.
Just kind of breaks a new idea to them, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm more than ready to get out of the indoor 20 yards mindset, because although I love it, like anything I love, I just can't wait for it to be over.
Always waiting for the next season.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I always joke with my wife, like, I love hunting and fishing, everything, but I'm always ready for the next season rather than living in the moment of the season that's currently open, So, but yeah, archery is the same way, Once you got it, you're ready for the next fix.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, stay tuned, and then we'll kind of get you guys talking about 3D, what 3D shoots that we go to. Hopefully you guys can meet up with us for 3D shoots. Join the team if you guys would like. We're just, honestly, it's a team of just really close friends.
Yep. Yeah, there's no like great advantage of being part of this team, but the camaraderie and just being able to go to the events together and have a group of guys that you can hang out with, laugh, and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the advantage.
Yeah.
And we wear cool jerseys, so that's cool.
Maybe some 2-piece jerseys in the near future.
Maybe.
2-piece archery pro staff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of it for this podcast. Hopefully we'll get more rolling here as time progresses. We'll try to keep on this path. We are working on that Arrow series. We're working on getting out a bunch of other videos. Unfortunately, that video where we set up the Ria's Prime, the audio was crap.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a voiceover for that one. We keep forgetting to do that, but we're going to do a voiceover for that. And that'll just kind of show how we set up bows at the shop, from the start to
we
finish.
did a full setup with that. Videoed the whole thing, and then the audio in the end was no good.
Yeah, so if you're wondering, are we amateurs? Hell yeah, we are. We bought all this equipment and barely know how to use it. Yeah. It takes us, half hour every single time we try doing these podcasts, just set it up.
Right.
So, yeah, it'll be a good time. This whole outdoor season, if you enjoy hunting at all, if you enjoy 3D at all, come down to Root River, come give us a shout, and we'll get you tuned up for 3D season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That we know how to do.
All right, until next time.
All right.
See you guys later.